Epicor's Advanced Print Management, or APM, is a tool used to help automate the routing of documents either via email or print. In this short 5-minute presentation, we will help explain the process of sending your AR invoices through Advanced Print Management. So why use APM for this process? Well, let me explain a common scenario many businesses face today. Most businesses have customers who prefer electronic delivery of documents, such as invoices, sales order acknowledgments, purchase orders, etc. And the AR invoicing process in Epicor can be a full day's work if you have hundreds of invoices. For each invoice in Epicor, a worker must print it to a PDF, save it to a file, compose an email, attach the invoice, and send it out. This process, at best, takes longer than this coffee break video. To get started, we're going to assume that APM has been installed and configured already by your service provider and mapped process for invoices. For this presentation, we will also assume most of your invoices need to be emailed. Next, we're going to open up Epicor. We're going to log in with your account that has access to the invoice processing module, and we'll continue on from there. So in our test case scenario, we're going to send out an invoice to a customer, and then we'll walk you through that process of how to do that. First things first, we're going to go ahead and select our invoice group from within our AR invoice module. In this test case, we're going to use the number 888. We're going to go ahead and let that load into Epicor. Now be aware that we are working on a test system, so it may not be as fast as yours at your business, but we're going to go ahead and print the invoice here. This is a very important next step. When you're sending anything through Epicor, you want to make sure to change the default output format to EMF. If you do not do that, the invoice or the document you're trying to route through APM will not go through, and it will fail. So once we've got this selected, we're going to go ahead and preview our invoice, and we want to do this just to make sure that everything is in order. You may or may not do this in the future, but we're going to go ahead and do it just to make sure the invoice looks right and has an email on it, and the email address on the invoice is going to be a different one than we're going to use. It's going to be mine. So once this comes up, we're going to, and again, we're on a slower system, so it may take a few minutes to render the print job, but eventually this will come up and we'll have a print preview. And once we see the print preview here in a short second, here it comes now. We're going to verify the information. You can see the invoice. It's just a one-page invoice, so that's good. We're going to go ahead and close this one down. Note the email there. We're going to go ahead and close this one down, and then we're going to go ahead and choose. We don't need to reselect the EMF output format, but we're going to go ahead and choose a printer. And again, this is the first time we've ran this process today, so it's going to take a couple seconds while it populates all the printers in there. Once we have our printers come up, we're going to select the APM printer. It may be called something different on your business scenario, but at least that's what we've called it here. Most of the time it's pretty self-explanatory what that would be. So in our case here, we're going to use the drop-down button, or drop-down arrow rather, and we're going to select the APM printer. And we'll go ahead, and this time we're going to click OK. Once we click OK, it will actually submit the job to the APM printer. And once we have confirmation here that it does print, you should see something in the background that shows up. Yep, there it goes right now. So once that shows up, we can go ahead and close down everything. We'll minimize our Epicor, and we'll go check our email. Once we have our email, we'll show you how that works. So there in our inbox is our invoice that we just sent. Notice there's a subject name and their attachments in a PDF output format. So I think that's all good there, and this concludes our coffee break video. Have a great day.